In a bustling city filled with towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, there lived a boy named Theo. Theo was a shy and introspective child, who often found solace in the company of books and his own imagination. His parents, both busy with demanding jobs, did their best to provide for Theo. But they often worked late into the night, leaving Theo to spend many evenings alone in their apartment. One rainy afternoon, Theo discovered an old, abandoned bookstore tucked away in a quiet corner of the city. The sign above the door read, "Whispering Pages." Intrigued, Theo pushed open the creaky door and stepped inside. The air was filled with the faint scent of aging paper and ink, and shelves upon shelves of books lined the walls like silent sentinels. As Theo wandered through the aisles, running his fingers along the spines of dusty tomes, he heard a soft voice calling out to him. "Hello, young reader," said a kindly old man with twinkling eyes, sitting behind a weathered wooden desk near the back of the store. "What brings you to Whispering Pages?" I like books," Theo replied hesitantly, surprised yet comforted by the old man's gentle presence. The old man smiled warmly. "Ah, books have a way of finding those who need them most," he said cryptically. "Come, sit with me." And so began Theo's regular visits to Whispering Pages. Each day after school, he would rush to the bookstore, eager to lose himself in stories of far-off lands and daring adventures. The old man, whose name was Mr. Finch, became Theo's mentor and friend, sharing tales of his own youth and wisdom gained over a lifetime of reading. One day, as Theo was browsing the shelves, he stumbled upon a dusty, leather-bound journal hidden among a stack of poetry books. Inside were handwritten entries detailing the adventures of a young boy who had once felt as lost and lonely as Theo did now. The boy had found solace in the pages of books and was eventually discovered his own path in life. Moved by the journal's words, Theo shared his own feelings of loneliness with Mr. Finch. To his surprise, Mr. Finch nodded knowingly. "Theo, my boy," he said gently, "sometimes, the most extraordinary journeys begin when we feel the most lost. You have a gift for seeing the world differently, just like that young boy in the journal." From that day on, Theo began writing his own stories in the journal, chronicling his adventures and thoughts. With Mr. Finch's encouragement, he started a small book club for children in his neighborhood, sharing his love of reading and storytelling with others who, like him, were searching for connection and understanding. As Theo's world expanded with each turn of a page, he realized that he was never truly alone. Through books and newfound friendships, he discovered a sense of belonging that filled his days with joy and purpose. And in the quiet corners of whispering pages, where stories whispered and dreams take flight, Theo found not just books, but a community that embraced him for who he was. A boy with a heart full of stories waiting to be told. Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm a little girl who loves adventures. Today, I want to tell you about the time I helped at the neighborhood bake sale. One Saturday morning, I woke up to the delicious smell of freshly baked cookies. My mom was busy in the kitchen, mixing batter and frosting cupcakes. "Good morning, Lily. Want to help me with the bake sale today?" she asked with a smile. "Yes, please," I replied, excited to spend the day with my mom and our neighbors. We packed up all the treats and headed to the park, where tables were set up with all kinds of goodies. Mrs. Johnson from next door was selling brownies. And Mr. Smith had a table full of pies. "Hi, Lily," called out my friend Jake, who was helping his mom with lemonade. "Want to help us make lemonade?" "Sure," I said, joining him at the table. We squeezed lemons, added sugar, and poured ice-cold lemonade into cups for the customers. After a while, I decided to check out the other tables. At Mrs. Johnson's table, she showed me how to decorate brownies with colorful sprinkles. Then, I went over to Mr. Smith, who let me taste a slice of his delicious apple pie. As the day went on, more people arrived. I saw my teacher, Mrs. Green, and even my friend Mia from ballet class. Everyone was having a great time, chatting, and enjoying the treats. By the end of the day, we had sold almost everything. My mom and I packed up the remaining cookies and cupcakes to take home. I felt so proud of all the work we did, and happy to have spent time with my friends and neighbors. When we got home, my mom gave me a big hug. "You were such a great helper today, Lily. I'm so proud of you. What a fun day that was. I can't wait to do it again next year." In a bustling city where tall buildings towered over crowded streets, there lived a boy named Lucas. Lucas was different from the other children in his neighborhood while they laughed and played in groups. Lucas often found himself alone, watching from a distance with a longing in his eyes. Lucas's parents worked long hours in the city, leaving him to spend most of his time by himself in their small apartment. His only companion was a worn-out teddy bear named Patches, who had been his faithful friend since he was a baby. Despite Patches' comforting presence, Lucas yearned for a friend his own age. One day, while wandering through a nearby park, Lucas noticed a group of children playing soccer. His heart sank as he watched them cheer and laugh together. Feeling a mix of sadness and envy, Lucas sat down on a bench under a sprawling oak tree, staring at the ground with a heavy heart. Suddenly, he heard a soft voice beside him. "Hi there," said a girl with curly hair and bright eyes, holding out a colorful kite. Lucas looked up, surprised to see someone talking to him. "Hello," he replied shyly. "I'm Emily," the girl said with a warm smile. "Want to fly this kite with me?" Lucas hesitated for a moment, unsure if he should join her. But Emily's kind eyes and gentle manner made him feel at ease. Slowly, he nodded, and together they ran across the park, letting the kite soar high into the clear blue sky. From that day on, Lucas and Emily became inseparable friends. They spent their afternoons exploring the city's hidden corners, climbing trees in the park, and sharing secrets under the starlit sky. Lucas's loneliness faded away as he discovered the joy of having a friend who understood him and shared his love for adventure. As they grew older, Lucas and Emily remained best friends, supporting each other through thick and thin. Lucas never forgot the day he met Emily in the park, a day that changed his life, and taught him that friendship could brighten even the darkest days. There was a boy named Timmy who loved playing soccer. Timmy was good at dribbling and passing, but he often felt bad, because he wasn't as fast as his friend Jake or as strong as his friend Max. Whenever they played soccer together, Timmy would compare himself to Jake and Max, thinking he wasn't good enough. One sunny afternoon, after a soccer match, Timmy sat alone on the sidelines, feeling sad. His coach, Mr. Davis, noticed and walked over to him. "Hey, Timmy," Mr. Davis said, sitting down beside him. "You played really well today. What's on your mind?" Timmy sighed. "I just wish I were faster like Jake or stronger like Max. They're so much better than me." Mr. Davis smiled kindly and put a hand on Timmy's shoulder. "You know, Timmy, everyone has their own strengths. Jake is fast, and Max is strong, but you have something very special too. You're really good at thinking ahead and making smart passes. You help your team by using your brain and your skills together." Timmy looked up, curious. "Really? You think so?" "I know so," Mr. Davis said confidently. "Let me tell you a story about a famous soccer player named Andres Iniesta. Iniesta wasn't the fastest or the strongest, but he was one of the best players because he was smart and always knew where to pass the ball. He helped his team win many games because he used his unique talents." Timmy thought about this and smiled. "So, you're saying I can help my team too, just by being me?" "Exactly," Mr. Davis nodded. "If everyone were the same, we wouldn't have a great team." We need different skills to work together. Be proud of who you are and what you can do, Timmy. From that day on, Timmy stopped comparing himself to Jake and Max. Instead, he focused on improving his own skills and using his strengths to help his team. He became even better at passing and thinking ahead. And his team appreciated him more and more. In the next game, Timmy made a brilliant pass that led to a winning goal. His friends cheered, and Mr. Davis gave him a big thumbs up. Timmy realized that being himself was the best way to be. And he felt happier and more confident than ever before. Hi, I'm Lily. Today, I want to tell you about something special I did all by myself. One sunny afternoon, I was playing in my backyard, when I noticed our garden looked a bit messy. There were leaves everywhere, and some flowers looked thirsty. I decided to surprise my mom by tidying it up. First, I grabbed my little rake and started gathering all the leaves into a big pile. It was hard work, but I pretended I was on a mission to save the garden from the leaf monster. I giggled at the thought and kept working hard. Next, I found our watering can. It was a bit heavy, but I managed to fill it up with water from the hose. Carefully, I walked around, giving each flower a nice, long drink. I even talked to them, saying, "Here you go, little flowers. Drink up and be happy." After that, I decided to plant some seeds I found in the shed. I dug little holes, placed the seeds inside, and covered them with soil. I couldn't wait to see what would grow. Finally, I picked up the leftover sticks and twigs, and put them in a pile for Dad to use for our next bonfire night. When I was all done, I stepped back and admired my work. The garden looked so much better. Just as I finished, my mom came outside. She saw the tidy garden and the flowers standing tall and healthy. She looked at me with a big smile and said, "Lily, did you do all this?" I nodded proudly. "Yes, Mom. I wanted to surprise you." Mom gave me a big hug and said, "You did an amazing job, Lily. I'm so proud of you." I felt so happy and proud of myself. It felt great to do something nice for my mom and to take care of our garden. Hi, I'm Elsa, and I'm a girl who loves adventures. Today, I want to tell you about the time I helped out at the local animal shelter. One weekend, my mom told me we were going to visit the animal shelter in our town. I was so excited because I love animals. When we arrived, we were greeted by Ms. Jenkins, the kind lady who runs the shelter. "Hi, Elsa. We're so glad you're here to help today," she said with a warm smile. "We have lots of animals who need some extra care and attention. Ms. Jenkins handed me a small apron and showed me around. There were dogs barking happily, cats lounging in their cozy beds, and even a few rabbits hopping around in their pens. First, I helped feed the cats. They were so cute, purring and rubbing against my legs as I filled their bowls with food. Then, I went to the dog area. Some of the dogs were so excited to see me that they jumped up and wagged their tails like crazy. "Do you want to take one of the dogs for a walk?" Ms. Jenkins asked. "Yes, please," I said, thrilled at the idea. She introduced me to a friendly dog named Max. He was a golden retriever with big, brown eyes and a wagging tail. I put on his leash, and we headed outside for a walk around the shelter grounds. Max loved exploring and sniffing everything. We played fetch with a tennis ball, and he showed me how fast he could run. By the time we finished our walk, Max and I were best friends. After that, I helped clean the rabbit pens and refill their water bottles. The rabbits were soft and gentle, and I loved watching them hop around and nibble on their food. At the end of the day, Ms. Jenkins thanked me for all my help. "You did a wonderful job, Elsa. The animals are so happy because of you." I felt proud and happy as we left the shelter. It was a lot of fun helping out and spending time with the animals. I can't wait to go back and see my new animal friends again. Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm a little girl who loves adventures. Today, I want to tell you about the time I learned to ride a bike. One sunny afternoon, my dad decided it was time for me to learn how to ride a bicycle without training wheels. I was a little nervous but also very excited. My bike was pink with sparkly tassels on the handlebars and a basket in front for my toys. "Ready, Lily?" my dad asked with a big smile. "Ready," I said, even though my heart was racing. We started in the park near our house. My dad held on to the back of the bike to keep me steady. I wobbled a lot at first, and there were a few moments when I thought I might fall. But my dad kept encouraging me. "Keep pedaling, Lily. You've got this," he cheered. After a few tries, something amazing happened. I started to balance on my own. My dad let go, and I was riding all by myself. The wind felt so nice on my face, and I felt like I was flying. I rode in circles around the park, laughing and ringing my bell. Some other kids cheered for me, and I felt so proud. My mom even took a video to show my grandparents later. When I finally stopped, my dad gave me a big hug. "I'm so proud of you, Lily," he said. "Thanks, Dad. This is the best day ever," I replied, feeling super happy. From that day on, riding my bike became one of my favorite things to do. I loved exploring new places in the neighborhood. And feeling the freedom of zooming around on my own two wheels.